The 1st of July, Gemorrah, Rabbi Levitt.
Buddies, welcome to
Hello.
Hi Lou, how you doing? Okay. Yes, sirree. Well, okay. Just a footnote on what we did yesterday about this pasuk over here. You see a very interesting thing. Talking about this pasuk that the Gemorrah asked on this pasuk. Ish ki yakeh kol nefesh adam. A man who strikes the soul of his friend, Mos Yumas, he shall certainly be executed. So we asked, what does this have to do with our case? This is talking about a case of murder and execution for the murder. So Rashi explained what the Gemorrah means over here on this with this pasuk, based upon a smichus to a pasuk close by. One second. Actually, that's not so. There is no smichus to this pasuk. That was the confusion, because this pasuk, if you look at the Torah Ora Sholem, this pasuk no, actually, this pasuk is a pasuk in Vayikra. Is that it? Ish ki yakeh kol nefesh adam mos yumas. That's Yud Zion. And after that pasuk, we do have a pasuk. We have a pasuk Yud Ches Maka Nefesh Behema Ishamena Nefesh Tachas Nefesh. That's talking about Tashlumim for an animal, killing an animal. And then the pasuk right after that was Ish Ki Yiten Mumba Miso Kesher Osa Ken Yasalo. That was talking about a person who injures another person, even taking off one of his Rosh Evorim. So was looking at Tosus over here on the page, Pei Gimel Amid Beis, the second Tosus Dibur Maskal Af, and Tosus brings the Gemorrah Sanhedrin says that this pasuk, in fact, is talking about a murder case.
Which pasuk?
This pasuk, Ish ki yakeh kol nefesh adam. It is this is the 1, 2, 3, 4 narrow lines. It's the fourth narrow line from the bottom of the narrow lines. So we see that Tosus brings a Gemorrah Sanhedrin, which the Gemorrah Sanhedrin, in fact, understands this pasuk in its literal, straightforward meaning, not like meaning that it's talking about a murder case, and that we're talking, when we say Mos Yumas, we mean execution, Mises Bezdin. so that the fact that it's next to these two psukim, which are talking about payments, is not a reason to say that we don't interpret this pasuk according to its straightforward meaning, because these three psukim are talking about three different cases. One case, the first case, is talking about one man murdering another man. The next case is killing a behemoth, and the next case is doing damage to a person, even taking off, causing misa, so to speak, to one of his limbs. So even though they're all juxtaposed to one another, that still doesn't mean, according to the Gemorrah and Sanhedrin, that they're all talking about the same onish or the same payment that has to be made. We could say that we can nevertheless say that this pasuk is talking literally, and the reason that it's right over there is because over there we're talking about the cases of death or injury to an animal, to a person. So that's why they're all over there, but they don't necessarily mean to indicate that the consequences are all going to be the same consequence. So that's what Tosfos is pointing out over there. So he understands what the Gemorrah is saying over here in a bit different way. So unless you want to go through the whole Tosfos, so I just wanted to point out that that we see that different Gemorahs in different places in Shas will learn the same pasuk in a different way.
I'd like to go through the Tosfos.
Okay, we haven't done a Tosfos in a while.
My reason is because, as you remember, I found Rashi's explanation to be very difficult. I'm much more amenable to saying that verse 17 is literal. So if that's what Tosfos is saying, I'd like to hear it.
Okay. So this is Tosfos, the second Tosfos on the page. Dibra maskil af hako amur adam l'tashlumin. So just looking where this is in the Gemorrah. Right. In other words, this is right before Tosfos's comment is on these words that are right before when the Gemorrah brings this pasuk of the pasuk that looks like it's talking about murder. In other words, the Gemorrah said, no, haka, we're making a gezerah shava. And just like by the behemoth, when he kills the behemoth, the din is tashlumim, he pays the owner a new animal. So too, when a person causes misa, so to speak, to one of the evarim, the limbs of another person, so we don't do misa to that person's aver to remove his aver, but we do tashlumin. That's what okay. That's where Tosfos' words are focused on, but we're going to see that he's going to bring this pasuk that the Gemorrah brings right away now, and he's going to take a whole different approach to this Gemorrah because of what the Gemorrah in Sanhedrin says about this pasuk here. Okay, so without further ado, Lou is up. Everybody have the, we're gonna do the toasters now. What was so funny? What did I say? Lou is
Hoist by
up
my
and
own
back.
petard.
Oh, okay.
You wanted to hear it, you read it.
Oh, I read it. Oh, you read it.
That's, I was paraphrasing what you said to me.
Oh,
Okay, no, I'm happy to read it. I'm just trying to
unless Roy
find,
wants to read.
okay, I
Roy?
yield to Roy.
Roy, you want to read the toasters?
No, thank you.
Okay,
not
Roy is
capable.
deferring.
I'm not
Okay,
capable.
so
of-
too, one who
Okay.
strikes a man
Yud Samach
pays.
is a Nochikan, Rosh Tevis. You got the,
I have it.
Yeah,
I'm
hello?
translating. So too, one who strikes a man has to pay.
okay.
Yesh digar si batar hachi. There is a text. What's batar?
Okay, this is a this first is a Yud and a Samach, so it's Rosh Tevis.
Oh,
The Rosh Tevis are Yesh Svarim, meaning there are manuscripts that have a different that have the following text in them for our Gemorrah here on 83b.
okay. Hachi v'hachsiv. That it is written. Ish ki yakah kol nefesh. A man that he strikes all of the soul of a man. Most you must. He is surely killed. That looks like it is the same text as we have, no?
Well, it's true that we do bring the pasuk over there, right? So far it's like we bring the pasuk.
Okay. Perush sheya miso avru pachas avru. So it's its explanation is
right. Mm-hmm.
That the death is avru tachas avru is an avera in place of an avera.
No, this is with a avera. The word avera is with an ayin, starts with an ayin. This word is with an aleph, and that word is avar, the limb.
Oh, a limb for a limb.
Yeah, so Tosas is saying the perush of this pasuk. We don't say that it's talking about a murder case, but we say it's talking about he caused misa to an avar, to a limb of his victim, and therefore, accordingly, the Bezdin takes off the avar of the assailant.
Ah, okay. So it's saying that the death is the aver.
Yeah.
The death of the aver.
Mm-hmm.
So chaveru, of his friend.
Is it saying also that we take it literally?
Well, that's what there's really three levels of meaning over here in this pasuk. To take it literally, we would have to say that's talking about a murder case and that he's executed. Mos yumas. Generally, wherever you see in the Torah that it says Mos yumas, we mean Mises Bezdin. And that's what it says over here in this pasuk. That we're not talking about that he caused death to a limb of another person, but he caused death to another person, and therefore, we execute him, Mises Bezdin, Mos yumas. That would be the literal translation. Over here, Tosfos is saying that the perush of this pasuk, he's so far at this point he's agreeing with Rashi. What the perush of the pasuk must be according to our Gemorrah, in order for the Gemorrah to be asking the question that it's asking. We have to say that that's the perush that the Gemorrah understands that this pasuk has, which means that we are talking about death, but we're not talking about the death of the person. We're talking about the death of the aver that he caused death to by removing that aver from the victim.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to saying, "Oh no, it's talking about monetary payment," which is another step removed from the literal, straightforward meaning of the pasuk. Okay, so now we continue. Oh, Alan's not here. Okay, we hope he comes back soon. Now Luke continues. That was the Gemorah's question. Umishane
Yomas the Mamon. And this is different from the death with money.
Now, this word Mishane over here means the Gemorrah is answering. Gemorrah answers that no, that's not what this pasuk is talking about. The Yumas in this pasuk is not talking about the Misa of the Aver. It's talking about it uses the way to understand the word Yumas in the Gemorrah means the mammon, with taking his money away.
So it's saying when it says Mos yumas, it means you will take his money away.
Right.
When it says Umishane, saying that's the Gemorah's response.
Yeah. That's what the Gemorrah said. When the Gemorrah asked this question, the Gemorrah said, Siv, but how can you say it's only monetary compensation? Look at this pasuk over here. Ish kiyaka kol nefesh adam mos yumas. So the Tosfos is explaining, just like Rashi explained, that the Gemorrah is understanding that this pasuk is talking about causing misa to an aver of a victim, and the punishment for that person will be we do misa to him also, meaning misa to his aver, which would mean that we don't do compensation, we do misa of the aver, ayin tachas ayin. On that, the Gemorrah answered, "The mammon, no." When the pasuk says Mos yumas, it really means mammon. We do misa to him, ayidei taking his mammon away from him.
Umimai the Mamon. And why with money? Hema, let us say Misa Mamash. Let's say it's actual Misa, it's actual death. Why are we convoluting things? Lo salkadaisa, do not think so. Bada Daha Iskash. What's Chada here?
Hada. First of all, Hada means literally one.
Ah,
So it means first of all, firstly,
Daha Istakash. That this is, we discussed Istakash yesterday.
right.
I forget what it means though.
Okay, so now today I have a fourth interpretation of what this word iskash means.
Not fair, Rabbi.
Okay, well, welcome back, Alan.
Disappear. I don't know what happened.
That's what
Got cut off
happens.
here.
That's what happens. We're in the grace, we're living with the graces, by the graces of Hashem, from moment to moment. That's the Amunin B'Tachon perspective. Every moment is a new creation. And we see it in the flesh, on the Zoom. So anyway, this is my latest interpretation of this word iskish.
Okay.
That we're referring to the pasuk that we just got through saying. This pasuk we saw from the Torah Or is the first pasuk in a trio of three psukim. And the next two psukim after this pasuk, right next to this first pasuk that would seem to talk about Misa, is the two psukim that the Gemorrah just got through concluding based upon that second and third pasuk that there's no such thing as an eye for an eye. We learn out Maka Adam from Maka Behema. And just like Maka Behema clearly means mammon, when a person kills his friend's animal, we don't cause misa to the assailant or to his any part of his goof. It says Yishal Mena. It says he pays. And so too, that's the way we're going to interpret the third pasuk as well. So perhaps my suggestion today is that what the Gemorrah means over here is to say that this first pasuk, which looks like it means misa mamish, execution, misas bezdin. But look, it's right next to these. It's right next to these two psukim that we said on these. The second and the third pasuk, they're a gezerah shava. It's maka, not maka behema, maka adam, like the Brisa said. We make and Rashi explained it was a gezerah shava. So we cannot say that this pasuk is talking about misa in regard to the misa of the aver, of the assailant who caused misa of the aver of his victim, because the next two psukim we have our gezerah shava, which tells us that when an assailant causes misa to an aver of his victim, he pays money. It's tashlumin, just like it is with a behema. That's today's explanation of iskish.
That was a very long definition.
Basically, the Gemorrah is saying that you can't say that because we've already established in the second and third pasuk, based upon a gezerah shava, that in such a case where an assailant causes death to the aver of a victim, he only pays he only pays nezek. We don't say ayin takas ayin. So we cannot say that this pasuk here is talking about misa of the aver in exchange for the misa that he caused to the aver of the victim.
But that's not the question. Why can't we say that Misa is Misa? Ema Misa Mamash. Say it is actual execution. Lo Salkadaisa. Don't think that. Why? Because Ishkish trying to teach us why we can't say it's Misa Mamash.
Okay, we are back.
Sorry, did you hear what I said, or should I
Okay,
repeat
Hashem
my
and His
last
kindness
sentence?
constantly renews the creation from moment to moment.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
I
going to
didn't
repeat
hear.
my question at the risk of being redundant. It says, Lisa Mamash, actual death. Lo Sakadaisa. Don't think that. Kada Daha Iskish. Firstly, that it is Ishkish. Now, doesn't that mean that Ishkish is the introduction to the reason why we cannot say Misa Mamash?
Right, right. But
So
when the
talking
Gemorrah,
about payments.
when the Gemorrah, even when the Gemorrah said over here, Misa Mamish, the Gemorrah did not mean Misa's Bezdin of the person. As Tosfos and Rashi both explained the Gemorah's kasha from this pasuk as meaning that what the assailant did was he caused misa to an aver of the victim, and so therefore, when it says mos yumas, it means we're going to do misa to the assailant's aver.
Well, then why does it say Lamaka Nefesh Behema? Doesn't that mean that it's being compared to the death of an animal?
The Gemara answers lo sokadaita. Don't think that when a person causes misa to his victim's aver, that we're going to say ayin takas ayin and do the same thing to him. Because chada, firstly, daha iskish lemaka nefesh behema shalmena. That this case of causing misa to the aver of the victim is the subject of the third pasuk of this trio, and that pasuk is juxtaposed to the second pasuk, which is talking about makkah of a behema, and we only say over there that you pay damages, and just like you pay damages over there, you're going to only pay damages in the case of the third pasuk, which is talking about the misa of an aver. So therefore, we cannot say that the first pasuk would be talking about misa to the aver mamish, because that would be inconsistent with our gezerah shava. In other words, really, it may sound like a difficult answer, but in other words, if you think about it, what the Gemorrah is doing over here, the Gemorrah first made a gezerah shava. Step one, the Gemorrah made a gezerah shava between pasuk number 2 and pasuk number 3, that just like by an animal, even the death of the animal is simply a matter of pain of tashlumin, of pain yishalmena, nefesh taktis nefesh, which means that he pays with a new behemoth to the owner of the animal that was killed. And so too, the third pasuk, which is right after that pasuk, when it says that a person causes misa to the aver of another person, also is only tashlumin. And we're learning that it's tashlumin because of its juxtaposition to the second pasuk. That's what the Gemorrah originally said. Now the Gemorrah is saying, but look at the first pasuk in that trio. It says that that when he causes misa to the aver, shouldn't we say that it means over there mos yumas? Shouldn't we say that that means that we should do misa to the aver of the assailant? And the Gemorrah says, no, don't think that, because that would conflict with the Gezerah Shavah that we just got through telling you. So don't confuse us with what that first pasuk is telling us. You have to. We've already established. It's already cast in stone, so to speak. That we have a Gezerah Shavah, and if we find that the pasuk right next to that Gezerah Shavah it looks to be inconsistent, we have to say that no, it cannot be that it's inconsistent. We're going to have to interpret that first pasuk is also talking about mammon. It's not talking about misa. In other words, all these three psukim, says the Gemorrah, are talking about mammon. Just like we proved by Gezerah Shavah that the second and the third are talking about mammon, we'll say that the first pasuk, even though it says mos yumas, is also talking about mammon.
I thought when you held that it was Misa Mamash.
What's that?
I thought the whole point of this Tosfos was to explain it by saying that it's actual death.
Okay, he didn't get to that yet. We got a few more lines. So far, he's explaining the way he's explaining, which is pretty much the way Rashi is explaining the Gemorrah.
Okay. And furthermore, Iksiv Hasam, it is written there Yitain Mos. As that he gave death.
Also, and furthermore, Tiksiv Hasam, it's written over there in the third pasuk. Kasher Yitain Mum Ba'adam Kain Yinasen Bo.
Mum. I see. It's written in the third pasuk. Like that he gave a wound person. Okay, Cain Yinachain Bo, and it rests in it.
Can you not both? So too we give to him.
Oh, and so too we gave to him. What is this? Mem, or yeah, some sin mem.
Shma Mina. We hear from this.
Or derived from this, Mammon the ain near the
ain near
Lari, and it's money, and we don't like the re.
No, we love the re. Re is one of the balitosis. We have to love the re.
What is the word ain doing in here?
The ain nira. It does not. This pshat that we have just got, the Tosis has just got through saying, based upon the text, that he has referred to, which is the text that we have in front of us in our Gemorrah, and he's explained it the way Rashi's explained the Gemorrah as well, more or less. Tosfos says, "Ein nir l'ri." The Ri, Rabbeinu Yitzchak, one of the Bali Tosfos, it's not. It doesn't sit well with the Ri. It doesn't seem to be so. Ein nira. Does not. It doesn't. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see this pasuk as being. He doesn't see this interpretation as being the correct interpretation. Now he's going to tell us a whole different mahalach in this Gemorrah over here.
Okay. So we would derive from this money, and this is not the way it appears to the reader. Osa Girsa Klal. That text in principle.
So this is all one sentence that the Tosfos is saying over here. The ein nira l'ri oso girsa klal.
No.
The Ri says that it doesn't. He doesn't see that this text that he just quoted, which we have in front of us, that's our text as well. He doesn't see that this is the correct text at all. Doesn't appear to him to be the correct text at all.
Firstly, the is he yata kol nefesh. Firstly, that he strikes all the soul of a man. Mok minan be'anish rafin. I don't know what he did.
Okay, Chada, you got that one right. Very good. First of all, the ish kiyake kol nefesh adam. This pasuk here, that according to the text that we have in front of us, the Gemorrah quoted as being the kasha, says Tosfos, the Gemorrah in Perek HaNisrafim, in Maseches Sanhedrin, and you can look it up, it's 78a. Mukminin, we established this pasuk to mean over there, the Katola. It's talking about murder. That pasuk is talking about murder. If so, then this pasuk has nothing to do, says Tosfos, with the Gemorrah that we are discussing. We are discussing in our Gemorrah about someone who causes injury to another person. We're not talking about a case where a person kills or murders another person. So this pasuk is totally irrelevant to us, says Tosfos. That would not be that the Gemorrah is bringing this pasuk as a kasha in our Gemorrah. It's not talking about the same subject as our Gemorrah at all. So here you see that Tosfos is bringing to bear that he does not believe that our Gemorrah learns the pasuk in this way that we've been saying, that it's talking about misa to an aver, because that would conflict with what the Gemorrah in Sanhedrin interprets this pasuk to be referring to. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Okay. We will try.
I'm sorry. I'm not following.
Okay. So step one, Tosfos says that the text that we have in front of us, that quotes, that brings this pasuk number 1 in this trio as a kasha on our Gemorrah, based upon interpreting pasuk number 1 to mean Misa of an Aver to the victim. We're going to do Misa to the Aver of the assailant. Says Tosfos, it doesn't seem at all that that is the correct text of our Gemorrah. It could not be that the Gemorrah is bringing that pasuk, number 1 over there in our Gemorrah. Why? Says Tosfos, because the Gemorrah in Sanhedrin interprets this pasuk in a straightforward manner, that it's talking about mercy, which means that we're going to is talking about. And the pasuk, so then says Tosfos that it appears in our Gemorrah. Tosfos challenges that this pasuk is being brought in the text of our Gemorrah here.
Who says it is being brought? Rashi?
Yeah, Rashi has a whole explanation on this pasuk. That this pasuk, the Gemorrah brought, and the Gemorrah understands that the pasuk is talking about the Misa of an Aver, and the consequence is that we're going to do Misa to the Aver of the assailant. We're going to do Ayin Takas Ayin.
So Tosfos is basically disagreeing with Rashi.
Disagreeing with Rashi, right? He's saying that it must be that pasuk is not part of the text of our Gemorrah. It doesn't belong here. That pasuk.
When Rashi says that is the pasuk that the Gemara is referring to, Tosfos says no, it's not. It's a different pasuk. Correct? I think we're losing him.
Right. It's not a question from this pasuk. It's not the question from this pasuk. Because why does Tosfos say that? Because Tosfos says that's not the interpretation of the pasuk according to the Gemorrah in Sanhedrin. The Gemorrah in Sanhedrin understands that this pasuk is to be taken literally. It's talking about katola, says Tosfos. It's talking about murder, and therefore, when it says at the end of the pasuk, "Mos you must," it means execution. Mrs. Besdin. If so, then that pasuk has nothing to do with our Gemorrah. Our Gemorrah is not talking about katola. Our Gemorrah is not talking about misa. Our Gemorrah is talking about that you have some guy and he caused a serious injury to another Jew. It's not talking about murder. So this pasuk over here is totally irrelevant. So it could not be, says Tosfos, that the correct text of our Gemorrah here in Bava Kama is that it's quoting this pasuk number 1 of this trio over here. Could not be.
Thumbs up.
Somebody made a mistake along the line and put this pasuk in the text. But has Tosfos? No, it's not the pasuk. Okay, we're 3 minutes beyond time. Okay, Yashik Koyak, everybody. We're right in the middle of Tosfos, and we
See you tomorrow at 10:30.
adjourn now. Everybody, Ezrat Hashem.
Thank you,
All the
Rabbi.
best. Have a great day, Lou. Shkoyach.